Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and standing right next to me is the 2023 Kia Sportage. All new for the 23 model year, this X-Pro trim looks to up the ante in the compact off-road SUV game. In this video, we're going to take a quick look around this one and get it out on the road. Starting under the hood of this 23 Kia Sportage, you get Hyundai and Kia's venerable 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine. It does a good job of powering this vehicle down the road with 187 horsepower. You can see it is mounted to initially give power to the front wheels, but this X-Pro model gets all-wheel drive with a locking differential button in the middle for when the terrain gets just a little bit tricky. You can see it is held up by a prop rod, but dropping the hood, you can really see the new opposites attract design language for the Kia brand. Looking like a grown-up Kia EV6, this new Sportage definitely looks different than anything else in the Kia lineup. You get this boomerang style running light here. You get 3 bars for your LED turn signals. A very upscale look here in the lighting pod on the 23 Kia Sportage. You also get LED fog lights down low. Very cleaned up and modern looking front end that makes this vehicle look like nothing else in the segment. I really appreciate what the company of Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, all 3 brands are doing with the design of their vehicles. It's like it's no holds barred over there and anything goes. They're not being restrained by any conventional styling patterns on their vehicles. Moving to the side, you get these all-terrain capable BF Goodrich tires wrapped around these black wheels. Again, an X-Pro feature here that will give you enough traction when you're trying to get out to the campsite or, you know, someplace a little more remote for your next adventure. You do get turn signals here on the mirrors. You do also get Kia's smart key system, so you can lock and unlock from the button here. It's really hard to tell on this all black version that we have with us today, but X-Pro models, you can get a dual tone color combination where this line right here actually separates the black roof from the body color of the rest of the vehicle. But this one is looking pretty stealth here in all black. Moving around back to the back, you can really see the Kia EV6 electric vehicle design cues here on the Sportage, and it really ties in to these taillights here. So LED taillights that have a nice soft glow to them. You get LED turn signals as well, but very Kia EV6 styling back here in the back. And underneath this rear spoiler, you do have a hidden rear windshield wiper. This does have a power rear hatch, and you can see the rear camera is back underneath there, but very spacious interior appointments here. In fact, this is one of the most spacious compact SUVs on the market, thanks to this new platform that it shares with its sibling from Hyundai in the Tucson. But let's close the hatch and hop inside and see what Kia designers did on the inside of this new Sportage. So this does have Kia's smart key system with the detonator style button here on the side. It makes for keyless entry and push button start and go. The push button starter is down here by the gear selector, which is actually mechanical in nature. I appreciate that. Down here you get your drive controls, your downhill descent, auto hold, auto start stop, your camera button, we'll talk about that in a minute, parking sensors, and your drive mode switch. You get normal, sport, smart, and snow, and you also get that differential lock that I mentioned on the outside. Moving up, you have your ventilated and heated seat controls for the 2 front seats, as well as your heated steering wheel. And then here you have a very unique setup for cup holders and just throwing the stuff that comes with life. So you can hit these buttons here and deploy the cup holders. Get a Qi wireless charger up front here, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on these dual 12.3-inch displays up front. And I truly believe that Kia is leaning very heavily into ditching the analog gauges and going completely to these new screens. As you go through your drive modes, your gauges change accordingly. My favorite of the bunch is Sport because it goes red and looks really cool when you're driving. But that's all for the infotainment. One thing that took me just a moment to get used to is this OLED screen down here. That's right, I said OLED. So right now you can see we're all climate controls. But you might be asking, Corey, where on earth is the volume for the radio? Well, you hit this button right here, and now it's all media controls. So this is your volume, over here's your tuner, and then here is your other infotainment control setup right there. Hit the button there, goes back to climate controls. But I did mention how this is one of the roomiest SUVs in the class, and most of that comes in the rear. So why don't I hop back there and show you just how roomy that rear seat is. All right, sitting in the back, I do want to touch on the sage green Syntex seats in here. It's a synthetic leather. Why don't we just call it what it is? It's a new age vinyl. It is very nice. If you're not too picky about it, I think it would fool you quite well. As with this fake wood on the inside, it's an ash wood look. But here in the second row, I'm sitting behind myself at 5'10". This is a 60-40 split bench seat that reclines so much that I'm basically staring right out that panoramic sunroof and have an amazing view of it from back here. Very, very comfortable long haul cruiser in this. I could go across the entire country riding back here in the back of this Sportage. In addition to the immense comfort, I do have a fold down center armrest with 2 cup holders here. I get auto climate controls back here, but no controls for them, so I had to rely on what the front seat passengers have got. Speaking of front seats, I get USB power on the back of both the front seats. I get a grocery bag holder here, some mat pockets, and then a very unique touch that Kia is putting on more and more of their vehicles, a bag holder on the back of the headrests. Very nice, very versatile interior here in the 23 Kia Sportage. But that's enough with sitting in it. You want to know how this thing drives. All right, setting off in the 2023 Kia Sportage X Pro Prestige all-wheel drive. Right now, I would say that I'm perhaps in as off-road a situation as many drivers of this vehicle would ever see, and that's a wet, muddy field, which, not gonna lie, takes a little bit of finessing to get through if you're not in a properly equipped vehicle. I can tell you, it is squishy, it is slick out here, so the all-wheel drive system is doing more than you think it does here in this 23 Sportage. But now I'm back on the terrain that most of these 23 Sportage models are gonna see throughout their life, and I'm actually gonna put it over here into, let's see, we'll go into Sport and hammer down. Okay, so at 187 horsepower, this could use a little bit more. It's not slow, but you're not buying this to drag race it. You're buying it for its rugged looks, and rugged looks and speed don't typically go hand in hand. Much like the Hyundai Tucson that we tested that has the same engine, this isn't sporty. That's not why you're buying this. But you do get additional ground clearance and the off-road mode with the locking center differential. So it is a capable vehicle, even if it isn't too powerful. I'm on a 4-lane highway with a turn lane in the middle. I'm going to do my real-world U-turn test, and We go onto the shoulder just a little bit, but fairly good turning radius for a very large compact SUV. Makes for a very easy to driving behavior. As far as the driving dynamics of this, other than it being a little low on power, it's typical modern Kia good. The seats are comfortable, the build quality is solid, it's well put together. The ventilated seats are a welcome addition here in the warmth of an East Texas spring. There's plenty of cubbies and storage departments throughout. The screen setup is very familiar if you're used to working with modern Kia products. All told, it's what you would expect from a modern Kia, which is a very quality product indeed. There are, you know, some fake materials in here, but it does a good job of hiding it. You know, there's some texture to this. It's not a shiny fake wood, so that's nice. It's got a lot of gloss black plastic though, that does leave a lot of fingerprints. Not my favorite, but I guess I can let that one go. I mentioned earlier just the unique storage options this one has. You can put anything you want down here and then hit that button for the cup holder. Very nice large panoramic opening sunroof. Makes for a very bright interior and you don't get washed out in the darkness. Typical Kia driving aids up here. You get your lane keep, you get your blind spot cameras as you put the blinkers on that come up in the tact and speed. Depending on which blinker you are turning on, it'll turn on those cameras so that you can see in your blind spot. I like that a whole lot. That is a very nice feature that is in most of the top trims of Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis products. The steering, it's easy, it's light, it's effortless. Again, sporty is, even though this is called the Sportage, the sporty, maybe not so much. Like a very competent daily driver, very good city commuter vehicle, very good on-road behavior for a long commute. Nifty features like those bag holders and the USB ports. This would make for a great road trip vehicle, but if you're going to be carving corners, why are you buying an SUV? That's basically my outlook on it. The seating position in here is very nice. Multi-adjustable driver's seat here with two-person memory does really well. And then the ride on this one. So being the X Pro, it is meant to go over rougher terrain and do a great job of that. And that translates to rough roads too. So if you never intend on taking these four wheels off pavement, rest assured that on rough terrain, this X Pro model will handle the driving conditions much like if you were off-road, and smooth it out and make it nice and comfortable for you. I cannot get over how spacious that back seat is. Like, I feel like I'm in a vehicle in a much larger size class when I'm in the back seat of this car, and like, it's pretty far back there. Because of the way it split folds and folds flat, it doesn't actually slide forward and back. So something to note, some competitors will have a sliding rear seat, but the way that this one folds and the rear seat bottom actually lowers down to give you a flat load floor when the seat is folded, does negate the fact that this one cannot slide forward and back. But all told, I really like this vehicle. If you were in the market for a compact SUV and you want some space, you should definitely check out the 2023 Kia Sportage. And these things are selling like hotcakes. Huge thanks once again to our friends at Pelche Kia here in Tyler, Texas for loaning us this vehicle for review. At just over $38,000, this 2023 Kia Sportage X Pro Prestige is quite a value in the compact SUV class. And with additional features like an 1.5 inch more ground clearance and a locking center differential, this one will take you to whatever adventure you're thinking of next. With a very roomy cabin, you can pack all the people and gear that you want to. So if you are interested in a 2023 Kia Sportage, you can check out our friends here in Tyler, Texas with Pelche Kia. We will link their website down below. But until next time, gearheads, bye.